And welcome to my channel Psychology Facts by Lara. So the topic of today's video is solved MCQs on comparative psychology or animal psychology. So without any further delay, let's move towards the MCQs. One MCQ is the first comparative psychologist is Lorenz, who is widely known as father of comparative psychology. The right option is A. C. Lloyd Morgan. 3. Attributing human emotions and intentions to animals is called anthropomorphism. 4. Describing a dog behavior as dominant is an example of describing behavior in terms of its environmental effects. Darwin believed that evolution occurred through natural selection. 6. The evolutionary history is known as phylogeny. 7. Fixed action patterns are released by innate releasing mechanisms that are also known as IRM. 8. Aggressive behavior in the stickleback is triggered by red objects, and according to researchers, whenever any red object is presented in front of stickleback, उसके अंदर aggressive behavior देखने को मिला है. So the right option is A. 9. Stopping an aggressive behavior and displaying an irrelevant behavior is known as displacement. 10. In Lorenz model of inherited behavior, the sign stimulus triggers the IRM, that means innate releasing mechanism, which releases dash energy. IRM basically release action specific energy. Number 11. Dash is when response is given to previously reinforced stimulus but not to a non-reinforced one. The right option is discrimination. Discrimination उस process को कहा जाता है जब कोई भी animal और a person previously reinforced stimulus की तरफ अपना behavior या response show करता है, उस जैसे similar stimulus की तरफ या non-reinforced stimulus की तरफ वो behavior show नहीं करता. So this is known as discrimination, कि वो person या फिर animal discriminate कर सकता है between reinforced one and reinforced one. 12. Rescorla argued that ability to dash what will happen next is more important than temporal contiguity. According to Rescorla, ability to predict what will happen next is more important than temporal contiguity. Rescorla is basically a researcher and behaviorist who has worked on conditioning and expanded the word of Pavlov, and he has focused more on understanding the process of conditioning. So he has said that prediction is very important. And he has assessed whether animal can predict their behavior or upcoming activity during experiment or whether they cannot. 13. A dash reinforcer works by being associated with primary reinforcer. The right option is A. Secondary reinforcer works by being associated with primary reinforcer. 14. Negative reinforcement is avoiding unpleasant stimuli. 15. Token economy is based on the principle that behavior must reinforce immediately. 16. Toleman showed that learning involved latent element. Latent mean hidden, and according to Toleman, learning के अंदर hidden element होता है. It's mean जब तक proper motivation नहीं मिलती, sometimes humans and behavior both physical activity में involve नहीं होना चाह रहे होते, सीखना नहीं चाह रहे होते. इसकी एग्जांपल लेते हैं टॉलमैन के एक्सपेरिमेंट से. टॉलमैन ने एक्सपेरिमेंट परफॉर्म किया विद रैट्स और पजल क्रॉस करनी थी रैट ने, और डिफरेंट पोर्शंस पजल के डिफरेंट पोर्शंस में रीइंफोर्समेंट यानी फूड रखा गया था, जो कि रैट जैसे ही पजल सॉल्व करती थी उसको फूड मिलता था. लेटर ऑन रीइंफोर्समेंट को हटा दिया गया तो रिडक्शन देखेगी रैट के बिहेवियर में. उसने पजल क्रॉस करने की कोशिश ही नहीं की. सो उससे इसने एनालाइज किया और कंक्लूड किया कि जब तक बिहेवियर को मोटिवेट नहीं किया जाएगा तब तक एक पर्सन जो है वो प्रॉपरली लर्निंग नहीं करता और उस फिजिकल एक्टिविटी को परफॉर्म करने की कोशिश नहीं करता. 17. Kohler studied problem solving in gorilla or apes. 18. Learning how to do IQ tests by practicing could be an example of learning sets. And अगर हम learning sets को define करें, it's basically how you learn something from easy to hard. इसी तरह different IQ test में सबसे पहले easy sets या easy problems जो होती हैं वो हमारे सामने present की जाती हैं. With the passage of time उनकी difficulty को increase किया जाता है. So learning sets basically आपको help out करता है कि किस तरह से आपने easy concepts को later on drag करना है और difficult one को भी understand करना है. 19. The notion that the effects of environmental stimuli, negative or positive, on the developing organism are stronger during certain periods of development. The traditional term for this notion is both C and B, which means critical period and sensitive period. During growth, the brain accumulates information about the external world in order to build an internal world in the dash association cortex, in the temporal cortex. 21. Curio and all showed that blackbirds learn by moving behavior. Moving behavior को noisy behavior भी कहा जाता है. जब भी blackbirds को लगता है कि predators उनके offspring को harm करना चाह रहे हैं तो वो defend करने के लिए वो कुछ specific noisy behavior show करते हैं ताकि offsprings जो हैं वो अपने आप को protect कर सके, अपने आप को defend कर सकें और एक तरह से उन्हें अलर्ट किया जाता है. ये अपने ऑफस्प्रिंग को अलर्ट करते हैं अपने इस तरह के बिहेवियर से. सो वी कैन से दैट देयर ऑफस्प्रिंग लर्न थ्रू मूविंग बिहेवियर. 22. Disliking food which once made you sick is adaptive because such food might be poisonous, जिसकी वजह से aversion एक person feel करने लग जाता है और इसी तरह से adaptation हो जाती है and that person start disliking that particular food. 23. The application of animal motivation to explain human behavior is known as zoomorphism. 24. Dash is the tendency to interpret the behaviors, emotions, or cognitions of other animals using humans as a reference point. This is known as anthropomorphism. 25. Jakob von Uexküll 1957 proposed the idea to remind researchers to consider only the subjective experiences of all species and individuals within the species even when they are living in the same environment. This idea is known as Umwelt. जैकब के अकॉर्डिंगली जब भी हमने स्पीशीज़ को अंडरस्टैंड करना है या इंडिविजुअल्स को अंडरस्टैंड करना है हमें उनके सब्जेक्टिव एक्सपीरियंसेस पे फोकस करना चाहिए. बेशक वो सेम एनवायरनमेंट में रहते हों, बेशक वो सेम स्पीशीज़ के हों, बट वी मस्ट फोकस ऑन देयर सब्जेक्टिव एक्सपीरियंसेस ओवरऑल उनको असेस करने के लिए, उनको समझने के लिए. सो दिस आइडिया इज़ बेसिकली नोन एज Umwelt and Umwelt is a German word which means environment or surroundings. 26. The relationship between all the organisms on the earth that have descended from a common ancestor, whether they are extinct or extant, is known as phylogeny. 27. In 1963, who published a seminal paper entitled On the Aims and Methods of Ethology, which laid the foundation for how to conduct research in the fledgling field of animal behavior. Nico Tinbergen published a seminal paper on the aims and methods of ethology and he has focused more on understanding the animal behavior. 28. Who coined the term ecosystem? Arthur Tansley coined the term ecosystem. Number 29. Who is known as father of modern ecology? G. Evelyn Hutchinson. Number 30. Who is credited as the father of animal ecology? Charles Elton is known as father of animal ecology. Number 13.1. Tinbergen formulated different albeit somewhat interlinked approaches to the study of animal behavior or different types of questions we can ask about an observed behavior. So according to Tinbergen, 4 different approaches are very important to understand animal behavior. 32. Tinbergen 4 different questions are function, evolution, causation and development. Function means adaptation, like why the animal is performing that behavior. A researcher must know that why this particular animal is performing that behavior. Number two is evolution, that is known as phylogeny, like how this behavior has evolved. Number three, causation, that is mechanism, what causes the behavior to be performed. And number fourth, development, that is known as ontogeny, how has the behavior developed during the lifetime of the individual. अगर एक रिसर्चर प्रॉपरली एनिमल बिहेवियर पे स्टडी कर रहा है तो ये 4 क्वेश्चंस उसको मस्ट आंसर करने हैं कि वो बिहेवियर किस तरह से प्रॉपरली डेवलप हुआ है, व्हाट आर द कॉजेज, और बिहेवियर इवॉल्व कैसे हुआ है, और ये उसके रीजंस क्या हैं. सो दीज 4 क्वेश्चन मस्ट बी आस्क्ड फ्रॉम द researcher even after he has performed a particular research. All from today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe my channel Psychology Facts by Lara. Along with that, if you want to ask any question, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you.